Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with Man the Guns DLC, and it currently looks like the Italians might be getting ready to break out into southern France. So we're going to watch this carefully, and no, we are not sending any reinforcements there at this time because I don't think the French are going to hold, and I don't want to lose my units trapped. But what we are going to try to do is help hold Norway, because I think we can. Ah, good. More factories have come online. No, we want it here to see. Okay. We're green everywhere. We're green, green, green. Okay. How soon are we getting medium tanks? Oh, 2 days. Okay. We're going to wait to 2 days then. Yeah, but you can always find some soldier to say something. I hear what you're saying. I went through Army ROTC, so so that's all it was. But my training definitely had doctrines involved. Don't know what the officers trained like that were fighting, you know, in the Iraq and Afghanistan were trained like and operating. But I would have to say I was given some various doctrinal type training. So how's Finland doing? Good to know. Yeah, okay. Holding the line so far, but probably the Soviets are going to puppet them. That's what seems to be happening. Second Vienna Award, so okay. See some changes. Treaty of Convoy. Okay. Yeah, seeing some border stuff that have changed. Well, what I would do, Barza, or Braza, I should say, I would have schools. I would develop schools that would, you know, would be like pilot schools and tanker schools for some specialty stuff. That's, I don't know so much about manpower for veterans and seas and whatnot. That's a little harder to do. Not impossible, but I would do. So it's not just because you can look at both in Germany and in Britain. You know, at times during the Battle of Britain, Britain was making more aircrafts than it needed, or no, not more aircraft, more aircrafts than it could use because it couldn't make enough fighter pilots fast enough. So at points, you know, during the real critical elements of the Battle of Britain, at times they had the aircraft but not the pilots ready to go. So we can see, okay, so they pushed into here. Well, we have our force that's holding behind the Meuse rivers, which that's there for. And it looks like they're pushing hard here now. So we're going to reinforce into that. And it does look like the Italians are breaking out. Yeah, buildable training camp, something like that, for some critical. I don't know how granular. Would we go down to the level of radio operators training? I don't think so. But, you know, maybe tank drivers, air pilots. I don't know really how detailed to go on that in the scale of the game like this. But it's definitely a. I think this is our best path. Eventually, we are going to get into mechanized warfare and things. So, right now, we're just doing. Yeah, that's going a little bit more the Japanese path, I think. So we're going to combined arms. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down that path. Yeah, warehouses, I think you're going a bit far. But you don't want a game that is too, because it is a game. It is not a it's not a simulation. So you don't want something that is too tiresome to play. Not too difficult, too tiresome. Oh hell. Well, maybe we can retake this before they can reinforce their conquest. We'll throw in a support element. If we can hold out that province. No. No. Okay. Stop. Okay, this... They've got 5 divisions there now. We're going to slow this down. We're going to play this a bit micro here. Yeah, the OOB system, I would like to see that. Much better done. Mexican compensation. Okay, the government, Lazaro Cardenas has agreed to the demands from Royal Dutch Shell and Standard Oil for compensation in exchange for losses sustained. Okay, so we will, we'll get some compensation. But like I say, the corrupt system with Pemex has been bad. My grandfather used to work sort of with him. My grandfather owned a support company that dealt with oil things, so here in California, so he definitely dealt with Pemex as well, so I know some of this sort of from talking to him, not literally my first hand, I guess second hand, of dealing with Pemex. Okay, well, yeah, I get detail and realism. But what you need to do, and I don't dislike that, but I'm not going to get too deep into some of my philosophy on how I would design some of this, but a little bit is you need to make the design, what are the main choices you as a person, you know, whether you're, you know, at what level, but, you know, Churchill and Hitler obviously did micromanage things. FDR didn't, but you know, if you sort of look at sort of Eisenhower level or whatever, how much does he need to micromanage the actions of the game? And that's sort of where you need to sort of kind of look at it. So you can get lost in minutia. You really can. Okay, Sten Mark II, message diplomatic status, cancel their Lend-Lease. So that's alright, you can cancel your Lend-Lease. Okay, we have the Sten gun, but the main reason we did that was now to, well, we're doing this one as well, but we'll have one more day and we'll get the next one. Okay, let's send you back up to the front. And there we go. There we get the other one. No, we want research. Why am I clicking the wrong ones? I don't know. No, we want to come over here and do this. Yeah, we're just going to lose down there. I'm just checking our other fronts, make sure not much is happening. I don't like this notification system for important things. Okay, we're being pushed out here and Here. Okay, guys. Fall back, fall back. Fall back. Okay, well. Make sure you don't lose that. I want to withdraw these guys to here. Withdraw back. Yeah, there we go. Even if you're going to win, because I need to withdraw you. Okay, you come over to... You cross the river. I'm going to hope to get all of this out. Yeah, I understand. Sorry to hear about your computer. I know how that can feel. Come on, retreat out, get out, yeah. Okay, guys, you come up here. Don't want to be cut off. I want to successfully evacuate. Okay, and finish, yeah, puppeted. I don't like the way they're handling this. That it's puppeted. I would like the historical outcome to be most likely. Okay, we're here, good. So now, no, I think to there. Withdraw across the river. Where are we getting resistance? Okay, oh. Well, you know, I think we have a unit for that. We're going to send the Luxembourgers down there, maybe. Successfully retreating an army is one of the most skillful things in warfare. Notice I said successful, not just retreating. Third war center back. Now they have modern vehicles, yeah. There's a military placement in Iraq, but in Iraq I do convoy operations. Oh, very interesting, Evil 6. Okay, cool. So let's think there. I think that you have to give the exile divisions equipment. Oh yes, you do. But it does so automatically, as you can see here. It will pull from your own stocks. So we're gonna send these guys to here, and so they will look like take a successful path. Ah, we've had some action out here. They sunk 2 of our ships and 1 of our ships. Okay, so we have somebody on convoy escort already, but not very many, as we can see here. These are mine layer hulls, but we're going to put them on convoy escort duty and send them out to here to add to that. No, I just wanted to get out of this because we're micro detailing this out here currently. Okay. I'm so tempted to want to counterattack in some of these places, but I don't think it's advisable. Soviet influence in Europe. Okay. Let's start you guys. Well, actually, let's get you guys fast back to here. They're gonna move fast. These guys will just move to here. Okay, we can see more weight of impact down there, so we're going to move you over to there. Okay, yeah, you can fall back. Fall back in good order. We can see them going down to try to save the south of France. Yes, France is lost, but we're going to try to hold as long as we can, but hold away to the sea. That is imperative in my thinking. Well, let's move you back up there. It looks like the Germans are really pushing around us now, instead of at us. Now, we can't hold everything. To hold everything is to hold nothing. And the French, well, obviously they're unable to do it, and we're a smaller power. Let's check, pause and check other areas. Okay, no landings up there yet. None down here. They're still getting there. Well, autocorrect hates everything, I think. Hello, Clyde, or McCall, or Clyde McCall. Reading. What time do you start? Well, 8 a.m. my time with the new daylight savings time swap over, which was sort of 7 o'clock European time old. I'm still thinking about adjusting starting times next weekend and future. I don't know if that was helpful to you as to what time, but sort of the complicated answer, because it wasn't an easy one. Yes, we've given up the line of forts. See, the reason I didn't want to keep holding here is you can attacking from too many places and possibly, you know, hit in one of these things and get cut off. So that's why I've fallen back here. Maybe we could have held the river better, but I'm just wanting to try to hold the Paris area. Partially because the damn airport's down here. And I think that's where my fighters have moved to that are operating here in France. Yeah, that's where they moved to. So we have these guys here, yeah. Northern France. Some of them moved to there. Okay, well, wherever. They'll move on their own. I don't need to micromanage there. Adjusting how? Oh, I don't know. Well, because I know you guys are going to be eventually changing your clocks too. So I didn't know whether I should change for me my start time to 8 a.m., which would be the same time as I have been starting. Just obviously removing the clock, but same actual time. Or whether if I moved, you know, it would be starting an hour earlier than I did today, next week, if I start at the normal scheduled time for both of the chats. And so I was wondering if I should be starting the hour earlier yet or not, because I've got Tippett in Australia, sometimes AZAD in normally Western India. No, Eastern India, sorry, Eastern India. So, yeah, you've got time for you guys to withdraw back. Okay, this is not good. Let's send you two to there, see if we can counterattack and hold that. Or we'll have to give up and move back to this river. Supermarine Spitfire, okay. We have a lot of gladiators and probably some hurricanes, so we will before we do that, we're gonna come over here and let's see, we're gonna have an improved engine. This is why we've got lots of air experience, so let's go Uber on this guy. Let's see if we just reliability and weapons. Yeah, that looks good. So we're going to spend all of that. We can still spend some of this on other, whether doctrines or on improving other types, including the carrier fighter once we have it operational. Okay, so we've got that now. Now let's come up here and convert this from that to the Mark I version of the Spitfire. So that goes down to there. Now what we will also do, because we want our carrier fighters to be fairly good, and this is much shorter research time, let's grab that to improve that. And this, now we can finally do total mode recruitable population. No, we have a recruit problem. Well, we're 500,000. I think we're just going to go to war economy. I think that is probably... Yeah, recruitable population, consumer goods 10%, consumer goods 20, 25. Yeah, we're retreating back. They're getting close. So I think, yeah, 25, 30, 20, yeah. We might do total mobilization eventually, but we still have this manpower problem. If we get over 1 million manpower, I'll reconsider. So, there we go. And that gives us more factories, which I sort of hoped it would. Okay, I want a few more of these guys. We'll do that. Get some more shipyards going. Overrun. That was just French units that got overrun, but I don't want mine to be done so. Okay, let's see if we can retake this province before they can get in there. One of the reasons I didn't counterattack too hard over some of these, because they had been fortified, and counterattacking them would just, not that we couldn't win, but by the time we did, we might not be in that good a shape. Okay, we've withdrawn back. We're going to withdraw again. You get back across that river. Okay, good. Looks like we'll maybe make it in there with good forces. I know they pushed the single French division back out, but maybe not. Okay, well, 3 divisions. let's see, yeah, the British ones I met were so pretty, interesting. The Germans are most likely. Chamberlain thought he achieved peace in our time, but no. Well, actually, Abraham Lincoln, he said peace for our time. And I've come to reevaluate Chamberlain's statement there. It was peace for our time. He realized that it wasn't peace in our time for like the generation. It was we have peace, which will give them a chance to, okay, we can't hold there. So you guys start coming out of here. We don't want to get caught behind whatever this river is. And you can retreat to there, get one division coming back to there. You stop advancing there. Pilot. Promoted, good. Okay, you're here, good. You come up to there. You get back across this river. Keep falling back, keep falling back. Good. Yeah, I've come to reevaluate that because not yet. We're slowly withdrawing. We're coming out here. I'm thinking Le Havre or Dieppe or both of those as our exit ports. But we're considering that. Yeah, I've come to reassess what he said. Now, how people took it at the time was, oh, well, we're going to have peace now. Hooray! Wars avoided. No wars. Thank you. You know. And then there was a war. I think Chamberlain realized that war was coming because after, you know, because they're right here. In fact, rearmor. He becomes a rearmor, not a war hawk, but a rearmor once, you know, the Munich Agreement. Now, right at about this time, or maybe a little later, you know, it's sort of what, June 1940 or something, Churchill becomes prime minister. Well, Chamberlain stays in in Churchill's war cabinet. He continues. I'm not sure if it was a minister with portfolio or without, meaning whether he was in charge of some department or he was just in it. But he was in it. He was dying of cancer. He ends up dying of cancer, but up until his literally last days, he's going to meetings. He's doing everything he can to help fight that war. He's giving all of his support behind Churchill, to the point that they actually sort of create a special sort of little bunker for him as part of the, well, I don't know if it's right at number 10 Downing Street, but right around there, so that he could sort of go and rest and have some privacy because of some of the cancer problems. So he digs in and fights for Britain. He is not a pacifist or whatever. He realizes what needs to be done. Now it's it's too late to have Britain really ready for the war, but he really tries to have Britain ready. Okay, you're here. It looks like the French are going to get out. You guys, withdraw back across here. Okay. One of the Dieppe Land forces can go to Le Havre. Okay, more free dockyard space and some factory space as well. Okay, we're... I'm fine with producing those stuff now because I want more volume. Better would be nice, but we want more. Okay, Let's show outdated equipment. Because of what's going on, it's... Because I did mine layers, it's considering some of this other stuff is outdated equipment. Let me take a quick look at this. Depth charges. We have the... Sonar, maybe? Cost to replace. Production cost 50. Yeah, I think we can do the better ASDIC. And we can do the better anti-aircraft. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so now that is well, where did that go? No. Don't like the interface here is sort of clunky because I don't know where the thing I just upgraded is. It's not the mine layer. Maybe it's this way? No, I didn't think so. Because the red means we doesn't have enough of the essential modules. And what I just built, I think, has the essential modules. Let's close this. Reopen this. See if we can find it in the destroyer whole layout. Early destroyer. It's probably this thing here. Yeah, it's this thing here. Okay. So we're going to... So it's actually... Yeah, I don't like the way... Because it's actually now made these no longer the latest. Well, these are, you know, mine layer and other things. I don't know. Okay, so let's get production going on that. Send forces to the port to make sure that... yeah, the harbor master's awake. IKB is referring to a historical event there. Hello, Azads. Good to see you. We just mentioned you a few minutes ago. There's a very true story. They evacuate a bunch of French units as part of Dunkirk, as I'm presuming you all aware. I know you're all aware of Dunkirk, but they also got out a lot of French. So the British gets them out, gets them here, and the British rush. I mean, it's like a maddening rush. They get these French soldiers onto trains. They get the trains moving from, you know, wherever in Dover region. They're brought ashore, maybe over to Portsmouth or maybe Plymouth or somewhere. They're on there. You know, the train sort of stops, almost doesn't stop in train stations, and they're rushing. The British populace is just rushing sandwiches and, you know, coffee or tea or whatever, probably tea, but whatever they can. And, you know, some of the French officer describes some of this stuff, rushing to get them food and everything else and get those trains moving out of the you know, train stations onward, getting to the port, rushing them on to some ships of some type, passenger ships or whatever, and they get them out there chugging all night, and they get to Brest or to Cherbourg or somewhere, and well, they can't, they're not allowed into the port because the harbor master isn't awake, and no one wants to wake the French harbor master to let the ship full of French troops back into France to fight the war. Because, yeah, the war's over here. The French harbor master is literally asleep and they won't wake him early to let the ship in early because, hey, you know, there's a war on, we need our sleep. That is, my understanding, a very true story that I've read about the difference between the way Britain at home was dealing with the war and France, you know, way back in Brest. I think it was Brest, but it was one of these ports, you know, well away from the front at the time. You know, this was after or during the falling of Dunkirk. And the attitudes, and was just, I think this officer later then makes it back to you know, Free French forces and fights on, but just why France lost is just this whole attitude thing between the difference between the way the French and the English were fighting the war, and that the English were just, you know, doing everything they can to keep it going. Okay. Well, very good. And let me know how this is, if at all, you know, if you get any buffering at all, because I've actually wondered, Azad, whether just live streams are different for you versus later playback. Yep, few isolated French pockets. Their division was part of their downfall, but it wasn't just so much, it was just, you know, that. Well, another dollar, another day, Azad is what he's referring to, but with taxes, it's 75 cents. Yeah, well, Optimistic Knowledge, you're in Europe, Azad's in India, and that matters. Twitch is a very American-centric company. It's, at least as of 2 years ago when I went to the TwitchCon and talked, I literally one-on-one talked to some of the devs, plus sat in a lot of the conferences, because I went for the expensive, just one day of the 3 days, but one day ticket to go to the conferences and not just, you know, be all the, you know, fanboys and fangirls out in the thing to learn how to do this better. They very much wanted to expand to foreign audiences, but it was like 90+% of their viewers 2 years ago were in the United States. So where there's lots and lots of YouTube viewers outside. So it comes down to some of that with AZADs and buffering, I'm sure. Yeah, it's Twitch. I don't think it's my particular Twitch channel, because what I know that it works, but it just Twitch, I think, is the problem. Because I think because I'm near one of their major intakes. The way a lot of this works is, for both YouTube and Twitch, is that they have intake servers, especially for live streaming, that gets the incoming stuff, you know, video, audio, takes it, and then they restream it out over their system. Because I'm in LA County, so that, and because of my ISP currently, I'm very close in internet terms to their intake server. So for both Twitch and, because I've looked into it, because of some of what you said, AZADs, I'm very close for the intake server. So I'm sending a very good and not, you know, very unbuffered, very high quality stream health. Let me click on something right here, right now. Let's see what good quality healthy, because that's stream health for, it's just on my thing from YouTube, is excellent for YouTube right now. But because they have different sort of monitoring tools than Twitch does that I can see. And we're going to do Fortify the Rock, just in case Spain gets involved in this thing, or we get an invasion that way. So that's all elements of it. You have Doritos. Well, Doritos are great. Well, I don't know why it would be. Well, why? Well, to a point, it's not necessarily for you how good your internet connection is. What it is how good their connection is to the internet in your region. And if their edge server, an edge server is a you said an edge server is on the edge of their system, and it's sort of like the final thing that broadcasts out. So instead of all broadcasting from a U.S. server here where I am out to everywhere in the everywhere spidered around the world, it goes, whether Twitch or YouTube, it goes across their system through their servers, across their system to an edge server. So there'll be one or more edge servers in Australia feeding out my broadcast. There'll be one or more edge servers, but they'll only feed out as needed. So either it's too few, they think, in India, or Twitch, because Twitch does have some edge servers, and I looked it up, in India, but I don't know if they have them near you or what. I don't know what or why. And maybe the other stuff you're watching has more Indian viewers, and so that maybe they're not giving my stream an edge server in India because there's just you, so somebody else has higher priority. I don't know. So get more viewers in India. Maybe we can see if that changes things. Yeah, need more followers at least, and eventually I will open up where you can subscribe to Twitch. I've just not done it, where that's a paid thing, and the more that happens, the more they'll open stuff up, and that could be some of the thing. Yeah, I choose to only go 1080p and lower. Just sort of my equipment and my recording capabilities here, and not maybe so much recording, but my disk storage space. If you start going over 1080p, but I try to do a high quality 1080p, 60 frames a second, 1080p. So yes, subscribe to PewDiePie. We ain't traders. Okay, well, we're going to end the episode here, not the stream. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You can also follow me over on Twitch. And, of course, I love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.